Welcome back. I'm Crispy, and I've got a nice hot drink and some cool jazz playing. Thank you for joining me. We're going to take a look at an actual play. We're going to take a look at an actual play for advertising a game that broke all sorts of records. Currently holds the record for the largest grossing, I suppose we should say, Kickstarter campaign for a role-playing game. This is Brandon Sanderson's game, the Stormlight RPG or Cosmere RPG. And it raised over $15 million if you count the late pledges. That's outrageous. Good for them. They raised a lot of money. This actual play is to highlight what it's like to play this game. And I have a question for you. As we watch this together, we're not going to watch all of it. We're just going to watch a couple scenes. But as we watch this game together, ask yourself, if you hadn't read this book, The Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson, if you haven't read this book, could you even play in this setting? Will you have any idea of what's going on as we watch this game transpire? That's the question I have. My friend Max often comments that there's an inherent limiting factor if you're going to play in a setting that has an incredible amount of established lore, including characters and events and everything like that. So if you're playing in an Avatar: The Last Airbender setting, which also raised $9 million for its RPG, if you're playing in that, is it a prerequisite that you've watched the show? Could you enjoy that product without having watched it? And if you have watched it, or you're a big Brandon Sanderson fan and you've read all of the Stormlight Archive and you can rattle off the entire cast of characters and you know all of the deep lore and you've gone on whatever wiki there is explaining all of the other things that aren't in the book but other fans have pontificated on, are you not then just limited to what has already been established? You can't risk changing events. All the events have to happen after, but afterwards, well, how open-ended is the end of the Stormlight Archive? Are the major conflicts already solved? What new conflicts can you create? This is a problem that can come up. It doesn't have to, but it can come up in things like a Star Wars game. Are you just playing through the movies? Or in this case, are you playing through Brandon Sanderson's magnum opus, this huge fantasy series that he's written, published? Very successful. A lot of you have read this, I imagine. I've read a couple of the books. I haven't finished the series. I'm not actively reading it at the moment. But so I know a little bit what's going on, but just pretend that this is the first you've been exposed to this and you think, oh, this must be a really good RPG because so many people wanted to buy it, or backed it. But if you haven't read this, will any of this make sense? Let's find out. All right, here's our table. You have never seen production value like this. No one has seen production value like this. It's incredible. They have changes of costume. They have everything on the table. They have this incredible set with the screens that change the scenes, the lighting. They've got sound effects, you name it. But just, can you follow it? Can you follow what's going on? Of course, I'm going to be looking at the role-playing. I'm going to pretend that Jasper likes to use his middle name, so his first two given names, Jasper William Cartwright, who, returning to Unsolicited Advice, who was a player in the Pioneer actual play. We looked at that last. I had lots of things to say about that. He's going to be our game master, and I'll introduce the other players as we go along. Let's just see what happens.
And turn a little in bed. I think the events of the day playing over in your mind. And
Jasper has a tendency as a game master to tell everyone what their player character is thinking. I'm not a fan, Jasper. I think they can role play that. I don't think you have to be telling them all the time what their characters think.
And I think that you sense, as you fall asleep, the nearing of Fiercebren. Just sort of like these creeping hands start to come into the room as there is a moment of reflection.
All right. He's talking to this player character, or this player, whose character's name is High Prince Royan, whatever. I'm going to massacre the name. I'm sorry. Player's name is Abu Bakr Salim. And, sir, you have the nicest voice I've heard on YouTube. It is absolutely melodious. He should be recording books. Maybe he should record Brandon Sanderson's book.
Suddenly you think back to that.
You think back, look, Jasper, why do you feel...
that took place so recently, so freshly in your mind.
I hit my keyboard.
Seeing what happened to your father, and as you drift off into a sleep, you suddenly find yourself stood.
I'd be mad. When do I get to play, Jasper? You're just going to say everything? Guess what happens?
On a plateau, a large plateau. All the other plateaus around it seemingly an impossible distance away. Far too far to jump, even too far perhaps for a bridge crew to help you cross. And there, across the plateau, you see a man dressed in white, carrying an impossibly long blade. You feel as this man bursts forward towards you, placing a hand on your chest as you rise into the air just as your father did, and you feel, as the stormlight runs out, there is a sort of kiss of wind and water on your face as you begin to fall. And as you fall, you are rushing towards the face of that man, the assassin in white who killed your father. In the moment right before you would taste that same fate, you awake. And you notice there is a figure stood over you in bed, wielding 2 blades. And from there, we're going to cut over.
What?
Yeah. Great place for a cut. So he has this dream sequence, goes through all the things that he's dreaming and how that he's feeling and everything that he's remembering. And then he wakes up and he sees someone looming over him with 2 blades. And now it's not your turn. Bold move.
Come on.
We are going to cut over
Come on is right. I agree with you, Jane.
to Vishara.
Way to kill the tension. Just absolutely murder the tension. You look at this. They have little 3D things that come up to represent the characters.
Small, tiny figure sits on your bedside.
All right. This is another player. His name is Mark Hooms. Hooms? Anyway, Mark. Mark is obviously in costume and is wearing all the appendages. And Mark is playing Vishara Tenel. Mark has a tendency to steal the spotlight.
A tight-fitting dress, sort of small bobbed hair. Actually smokes from a long, thin pipe. She sort of has her legs crossed and looks over to you and goes, You do know something is up, don't you?
What are you talking about, Sable?
I can feel it. The guards. The guards, yep. Irregular patterns.
Irregular patterns?
Yes. 1, then 2, then a gap, then 4, 1 missing, maybe. A patrol missing.
Sable?
I can feel it. I can hear them. They're so loud and clunky.
Yes, I know they are, my dear. Would you... Perhaps you should go and check on the prince's room for me. Make yourself small, perhaps, and keep an eye on it. See if there is anybody lingering in the area. I want to finish. I can't get my face right. It's just... It's too much of my old... No, it's...
You see she shifts into a full form and looks at you and kind of leans in and goes, sort of, yes, maybe a little... Oh, the high prince. Okay.
Yes.
2 seconds. And she dashes off reducing form again and sort of zipping through the door. And I think you're left for a second, and you do. There's a curious moment, I think, as you look out of the window. I won't even make you roll for it.
Why are you looking out of the... Jasper, you're doing all the thinking for these characters. You're doing all the actions for the characters. And by the way, anyone who's watching this, if you're lost, yeah, you would be lost. What is going on? What is this other character that appeared and then changes size?
Do see there are a few guards who stand in an unfamiliar place and sort of seem to be like shifting a little uncomfortably in their uniforms.
My room has lanterns, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to take a breath.
As you do, the room begins to dim slightly.
Not enough to fully glow, but enough that I know I can now feel that storm running through my veins, and it's driving me. I can feel there's a moment where I'm sort of...
Okay. If you haven't read the book, do you have any clue what's going on here? When Mark's character breathes in the storm light.
Sat at my vanity, still brushing my hair, and there's this painful... I know that I don't look right. I can see all these flaws and cracks, but something compels me, and I'm going to stand up and immediately not wait for Sable. There's something wrong here, and I can feel it. And I want to step out into the corridor and start making my way towards the prince's room. But as I do, I would like to spend 1 point of investiture.
Ooh, okay.
And begin to look into the cognitive realm, so I can see anything that is out of place, as I do.
What exactly do
Cognitive realm.
Yeah, you're just as lost as the rest of us. I have no idea what's going on. No idea. And I've read the books.
Oh yeah. What is there anything in particular that you're looking for within the
I'm looking for any spren that, like, hate spren or anger spren, something that might belay the intentions, or also a flame. Like if I...
All right. I need to take a break from Mark talking. This is Jane Douglas. She's playing Nalim. And next to Jane is Jacqueline Emerson. And Jacqueline is playing... Jacqueline, I don't know why you did this to me. Inalaratakhanum. You have to say it quick. Inalaratakhanum. Way too many syllables. I have rules on how many syllables you can have in your character's name, because I have to say it. I don't know, man. She has a cool accent when she talks in character. I like it.
I look into the prince's room and I see more than one person in there, because I can see the flames of their soul, but also like any spren that might belay like a hidden ulterior motive or something like that.
As you
I mean, they all have earpieces, and I don't know what's going on.
look, you sort of scan around, you know exactly where the High Prince's room is. You look up and you see one restless flame kind of flickering and almost sparking as he seems to shift uncomfortably. And you do notice, sort of almost on the outside, as if shifting across the surface of the building itself, a second flame, quieter, more still, more calm, but making its way towards the High Prince's room.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to start hurrying, but also if I see guards that I recognize, they have to be ones I recognize, I will be like, come with me, the prince is in...
Look, Mark, it hasn't happened yet. Just move. If you encounter a guard, you'll deal with it then.
I'm going to immediately be like, we need to go now. Yeah. Fetch the others and things like that. If I see any.
As you go, you do recognize there are two guards, but you do not recognize them.
Okay.
As you move past them, what do you do? Do you talk to them?
No, I think that I would just, if I don't recognize them, I just sort of almost take on that air of...
Can you roll me a deception roll, please? And we'll raise the stakes for this, because why not?
Because why not? Okay, so there's this mechanic in this game where it's essentially a D20 game, But they have these things called plot dice. And you roll a d6. On a 1 or a 2, you get a complication. So it may be a success with a complication, could be a failure with a complication. If you roll a 5 or a 6, then you get an opportunity, which is a meta currency. You get to choose what to do with it, maybe. Although in this game, it seems like Jasper decides for most people what happens. But it's not universally applied. Like some roles get this, other roles don't. It leads me to the question, look, Jasper, if it's not an important role that you're not going to use a plot die, then is it worth rolling at all? I don't know.
Yes, please.
Oh, that's hidden under my sheet. Okay.
Come on, Mark. Just roll the dice.
So that's a 4, so nothing on the plot die.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And if you get a 3 or a 4, then you may as well have not done anything. It's a non-factor. Nothing happens. I mean, success or failure, but there's no complication or opportunity.
It's going to be a 21.
21.
Deception.
Okay. Yeah.
So I just sort of almost just like, I'll just say like, the chefs are having problems again. You're sort of making small talk as I go by. Like, I'm going about my business.
The chefs.
Yes. Terrible.
Yeah, of course. As you're making your way up, it is, however...
Jasper, you got to be moving between players faster than this, my friend. You can't be this slow. If the party is split, you still have those other players that are at the table.
Nalim, you...
Okay, finally. This is Jane.
Sort of walking about the palace, probably taking in this sort of, the...
Why are you moving her around? Why? This is something I've noticed in this game. The game master, Jasper, just decides where he wants the players to be, and then that's where they magically appear, and then they just stay there until he doesn't need them there anymore, and then he calls the scene and then magically teleports them to some other place. Oh, you're just walking around the palace, and it just so happens that you notice this, and...
These structures, these places, everything is so new and fresh to you. You actually hear, almost in an instant, a sharp intake of breath and a sudden sort of burst out loud from behind the High Prince's door, almost like a yelp of...
She was standing outside the High Prince's door? Why was she there? Isn't he supposed to be sleeping? He was sleeping. You were dreaming for him.
Panic.
Okay. Well...
Would you like to do anything?
Yeah, I'm...
So Jane's no dummy. She knows that if Jasper put her there, it's because she has something that she should do there.
I mean, I'm in my nimblest nimble form, and I sprint straight for the prince's lodging.
You push against the door, which normally would have guards outside.
Why are you... She said she sprints to the door. You're already... Oh, yeah, you're opening the door. Wait, isn't that more than what she said? Why do you get the ability to do this? Why do you give yourself license, Jasper, to take that sort of liberty? Couldn't you have said instead, the prince's door, no sentries where they would normally be standing, and then shut up? And then Jane can say, the sentries are gone, or whatever. I barge into the room, or I carefully, quietly open the door. No. You just do it all for her.
Of it, and there is no one there. As you push forward, you see this would-be assassin stood over the prince. Two, these almost like armed blades.
How does she know it's an assassin? Just describe what she sees. A man with 2 blades on his arms, looming over the bed where the prince sleeps. She can make that connection. Assassin!
sticking out, something covering the face, stood over the prince and lunging as if to plunge into the side of the prince, who is sort of looking, I'm assuming, quite surprised in this moment.
Very surprised.
Well, he hasn't even had a turn, man. Where's his turn? Here's your dream, and then you wake up, and you're about to die. Did you get a turn? No. No, we got to go to Mark and his vanity.
And we will enter into a combat, and so I will ask you whether you would like to act fast or slow.
As fast as possible.
Okay, so in this game, if you act fast, like Jane is going to do, you get 2 actions. If you act slow, then you get 3 actions.
Fast as possible.
I'm going to be slow.
I mean, it's very in keeping with
You're
what,
waking
the,
up.
the situation.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm going to say as well
Amazing.
that the this would-be assassin one will not have any reactions, as they have the surprised condition, because they certainly did not imagine a singer bursting through the door in nimble form. And you would like to act.
You need to know this. I'm sorry you don't know this, but she's not human. She's a singer. It's a different race. Again, I'm back to my question. Can you even play in this game if you haven't read the books?
Fast, if I'm there as well, absolutely.
Within the Cosmere RPG, when 2 PCs act fast, you normally would get to pick, but just for the sake of this scene, I'm going to say that you act first, and then it will be you. So
Nalan is absolutely quicker than me as well, so it makes sense.
So Nalan, you see this assassin, these 2 blades sort of ready to plunge into the side of the High Prince. What do you do?
Well, I'm not fully armed, not having anticipated this, but I'm always carrying a knife in my boot.
Yes, of course.
So this is a prince's bedroom, so it's big. Big-ish.
Big-ish.
He's not
It's still a
sleeping by the
modest
door.
princedom. Yeah.
Okay. Well, can I throw the knife then?
Absolutely.
I'd like to. And I'm.
Jane, why are you asking permission? Can I throw the knife? Just do the thing that your character would do.
not expecting like a kill shot on a professional assassin, but it might be enough to kind of, you know, deflect something or distract him.
If you would like, you can use a creative.
If you would like, check out this creative action that Jasper.
Maneuver, essentially a chance for you to try and do something slightly extra. It might raise the stakes. There might be other consequences should you not do exactly or not manage to land it. But if you would like to, then you absolutely can.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going for a thrown knife in the direction of the assassin, and I'm going to raise the stakes. So I'm going to take a plot
do
dice
it.
as well. Okay. And it's a light weapon.
Light weapon, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's a 3 on the plot dice and a 21.
21. That is, of course, enough to hit our assassin. Where were you aiming, do we think?
Well, it was a reflexive thing, so it wasn't like between the eyes, but on 21, I'm going to say trying for between the eyes.
Amazing. I think as you launch
Amazing.
this blade, the assassin flinches just in a sort of split second, and I think what would have been a deadly shot probably
Why not do the deadly shot thing?
through the neck, buries into this assassin's shoulders. Looks wounded, and I think that you in this moment realize that had that knife not been thrown, you were in grave, grave danger. Now we see bursting through the door.
Is the assassin still looking like they're about to attack the prince?
Oh, absolutely. The assassin still only has one intention in their mind, and they will be going next.
How does he know that? Why did you say that, Jasper? Do you want this to be tense or not? Why are you saying that?
Shara will... So I've seen this knife fly through, take this moment, I will...
So I think the first thing you see is Nalan defend the prince and essentially stop this assassin from dealing what could be a killing blow.
With that in mind, I'm going to trust Nalan with something. I'm going to run to the assassin, grab their back, and I'm going to use a surge.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to soul cast them.
Wow. Okay. So, for clarification for anyone who doesn't know, soul casting is when you alter the physical material of something.
And I think that at this point as well, maybe like I begin to, Nalim and the prince would see this like, I am glowing.
I think
with
we will
light.
say, yeah, for the sake of the story, I think
I've
the
sucked in
room,
some as I've run up.
any light that was emitting out of like goblets or any of our stormlight gets drawn in this instant as, yes, you see Vishara start to glow. And I think you two instinctively would know this means only one thing, that Vishara, without telling you, is in fact a Knight Radiant, a incredibly powerful member, sort of, who only recently have come back to the fore, have recently, up until recently, it was believed all the Knights Radiant were in fact gone.
And traitors as
So
well,
a very
in fact,
powerful
long ago.
ally indeed. Let's go ahead.
Wow.
Somebody forgot to tell Abu Bakr that his character is the weakest one here.
I think we're absolutely raising the stakes on this one.
Cool.
How are we feeling? Ready?
Good.
So we've got a big roll.
Yes, give me a
Big roll.
second.
Absolutely raising the stakes.
All right.
As you place both hands
Both hands, yeah.
on the back of this assassin, as he
Touch
wheels
them.
around, again, these blades out and ready.
And it might almost look like, to like Nalim and the prince, I'm almost trying to tackle him, is what it would almost look like.
Except you're shrouded in stormlight.
Except
Yes.
that I'm glowing brightly.
Yeah.
And this is with
And
my
I think at this point as well, everyone would now see also a tiny figure kind of like sat on your shoulder,
Yeah.
sort of with sort of slightly wild eyes, sort of staring at this thing, you know, ready.
This is with my transformation skill. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon.
Let's go. So that is a nat 20 and a 5, which means that is an opportunity as well.
Oh my God.
So the way this works is it's technically an attack.
Wow.
Can I maximize the damage with the
Oh,
crit?
of course. Yeah. And then you can have an opportunity as well.
So
Yeah.
it's 18 spirit damage
Wow,
because it's
okay.
3d6, so it ignores any sort of armor that he
Yep.
has or anything like that.
Wow.
The most important question, Jasper, does that reduce him to 0 hit points?
It does.
So
Thanks to the damage that has already been done.
yeah, so for Nalim and the prince, and I guess for the prince this would be horrifying because this man turns to smoke. Like his body just becomes smoke. Get away from him!
Sable slowly, kind of the back of a hand, just strokes down the side of your face.
Was that me?
Kind of look at you in
and-
fear.
And it was incredible.
I didn't think I'm sorry, my prince. I tried to get here as quickly as I could. I saw... Nalim, thank you.
Nalim's completely dumbfounded. Like, her dark grey eyes are as wide as they can go.
I'm sorry.
I kind of back away to the bed and like pull like maybe a whatever's closest to me and kind of point it at you. Like
No, I
just want to show you they changed the scene in the background. You see this? They have travel scenes and everything changes. The whole set changes. I mean, look at. I'll show you some of the other things. Oh, yeah, here we go. Look, it's all changed now. Things in the background change. Table even changes. Costumes change. It's just wild. Anyway, I would imagine that most of you who haven't watched this, see like this big monster in the background. That's called a chasm fiend. But don't worry, Jasper's going to tell you you don't fight the chasm fiend. That's not a thing. Look at the costumes change. See, Jane's got a mask on now. So does Mark. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. I wanted to show you a little bit more.
This large sword and sort of step towards you. What do you do?
Okay, she's terrified. You know, this is... he's big. He's scary. Right.
And I think you recognize this fused. You recognize this as one of the creatures that you saw that sort of filled you with so much disgust and fear that made you want to reject Odium and reject this way of life in the first place.
He's exactly why I didn't want the shard blade to fall into the hands of these people. Right, okay. I did, and I do reject you and your kind. I return to the Alethi, not as a servant, but to maintain my freedom.
They will never treat you as equal. Death is all they know, and we shall bring it to them.
And the vibrations, the rhythm that you get from this creature almost brings you to your knees. It is like a pounding war drum, as if it is beating you down. And I think as the storm rages around, you feel this, and you feel this sort of the moment as this creature tries to bring you to your knees in front of it. I think you feel a sense of strength start to build up inside of you as you start to change into a form that you have never worn or had before.
Okay. Yeah, so the power...
All right. Okay, so, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Jane.
...of the Everstorm still in the air. And the...
Like all these terms. Is anyone following this? The Everstorm and the Fused and this... the Alethi.
The kind of the fraught, the anxiety, the fear, but also the powerful sense of rejection, the powerful need to reject this new master fills her.
Yeah, I think as you're there, I think you see fear spren, these hands crawling up your body.
Everyone know what spren are? Fear spren? Everyone know what that is?
And two of them...
I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced, if you haven't read all these books, that this is a game that's going to be playable.
Seem to form and coalesce inside of you, and that fills you with like a power and a strength.
Yeah. And that...
Yeah. Yeah, whatever you said. Jasper, it's too much, my man. You gotta back off a bit. It's overbearing, is what I would call it.
Turns outward. That power turns outward.
This is I think why some of these games call the game master the director, because what Jasper is in effect, what I take this as is he's giving these players all the cues they need in order to act the way he wants them to act. I'm against it. Shocking, I know.
And if you're watching, you see the carapace kind of like
no, I'm not watching.
defuse and refuse, like configure itself.
She has a carapace. See, I told you she's not human.
In a new form, in a bigger, taller, somehow spikier form, and it's a war form. So.
Oh, what? What? A war form? Whatever that is.
So, you assume for the first time.
Oh, see, now she's got the thing on. War form.
War form, and I think this fused kind of almost. I think as close to a chuckle as this sort of twisted thing.
Okay. Jasper, you have a habit of saying, I think. It's a verbal tick. I recommend, Jasper, that you eliminate that from your vocabulary. So I think that, no. Just say what is.
Can.
No.
Back in the sort of at the edge of this tent, you see this happening. You do see that Nalum seems very assured, and what you do notice is that shard blade is right there.
I think.
On the other side of the tent?
Yeah, there's nothing else in this tent. It is literally you see this like map in front of you, this war map.
I think there's something in me that goes and looks at the shard blade, and almost hypnotized by this, I begin to make my way towards it to get this blade.
I think the two of you, like, there is a moment as you perhaps go to step with the prince.
Why are you moving them? Stop moving. Stop it. Jasper, stop it. Stop moving around. This is a one shot does not mean that you have to direct every player to do exactly the thing you want them to do in the moment that they do it.
And Sable and Utu kind of like, sort of almost simultaneously seem to like stop and like recoil a bit. And they're like,
do they seem to do that, or do they just do that? I have verbal tics too. And even on this video, I'm sure that I have filler words that I use. It's not that uncommon. I try to eliminate them, and when I hear the same verbal patterns again and again and again, it just grates on me.
no, not you. Not that. No.
What? Why?
I can feel some. It's those blades. They are not proper.
It won't harm him.
No, there is nothing different about that.
Look, can we go back to the prince? The prince is moving. I don't know. This is just more dialogue filler.
Blade. It's just they give us Spren the make us feel a bit uncomfortable.
Lara, this is right. It should be him who claims it.
And I will stand guard. And she pulls out her sword and faces the entrance of the tent.
Good turn. Jacqueline, excellent turn. Let's break that down. She responded in character to whatever Mark was saying. Watch this again. This is a good turn.
This is right. It should be him who claims it.
Mark, you direct everyone in this game. It drives me nuts. All right, watch Jacqueline's turn. Starts with dialogue.
And I will stand guard.
Then I will stand guard. And then it's not over. Could be over, but...
And she pulls out her sword and faces the entrance of the tent.
Good. Action, location. Good turn. Good turn. If I was to make a quibble, Jacqueline, it's just a quibble. I would just say I. It's just easier. I pull out my sword and I face the tent. I think that's easier. That's just a style thing, but
You.
And look how fast that turn is. Oh, can you imagine if everyone was doing that sort of thing?
Reach out. You see before you.
You reach out. Okay, so here we are again. Jasper taking the reins. Jasper is conducting. He's conducting this game right to the bitter end.
This gleaming blade, this symbol of strength and power in Alethi culture.
It's a shard blade.
It seems to vibrate with stormlight and investiture. And you look at the handle and you kind of, there's almost a second where you catch your own.
Yeah, you know what? I feel your pain, Abu Bakr, because you thought you'd be playing. And oh, how wrong you were. I don't know. Mark seems to get lots of playtime. I don't know what that's all about.
Hand as it sort of reflects in the blade itself, and it's almost as though it was made for your hands. As you reach out and grab hold of this blade.
This is the perfect example of a game master that's just there and he feels his job is just to tell cool stories about how cool the player characters are. The players don't get to do anything. No, they just get to listen. Just listen there as I tell you a cool story about how cool your guy is. Wow, thanks, man. Do you need me to roll some dice? Yeah, Let's raise the stakes, shall we? You can roll a d6 with this d20, and then I'll tell you more. I'll tell you more about how cool your guy is, and what he thinks, and where he looks, and what he touches.
I think you have a moment.
Oh, you have a moment, and he's gonna. Oh, watch this. He's gonna do a memory for the player too. Watch.
There's this. I think there's a moment where you go to touch it and you pick it up, and I think you've probably always in your mind thought how heavy these things must be. These 6 foot, tall blades. How cumbersome they must feel, and
Totally.
It feels light in your hands. Right as you pull it up, and I think almost immediately you can see, without even thinking, it sort of just effortlessly slices through some of the stone above you as you have claimed the shard blade.
Oh man, yeah! I claimed it. Blake claps all along. Jacqueline's losing it. Yeah! I did that. You see that? I got Coach Carter vibes now. I did that. I tied that shoe. You see that knot? He didn't do any of it. He said he's moving towards the tent, and then everything else was Jasper. Everything else was Jasper. Everything. No room for the player. But everyone has been given the cue, cheer, because the High Prince did something. But the High Prince didn't do it, Jasper did it.
And this moment is punctured by a deafening. As somewhere in the camp, something emerges. You hear the distant whimper of a chull. And the sudden panicked vibrations sweep through the camp. You outside, you see from behind this fuse who kind of bears down on you now, this huge, hulking chasm fiend.
What?
As singers go flying, this thing with a panicked, wild look in its eye, half-eaten chull hanging out of its mouth. You can see it now kind of realizing the situation it's in. And we are going to enter combat.
What?
Oh, come on!
Don't worry, you're not going to get any turns in it. Let's just skip to the epilogue, because the whole thing, it's just Jasper telling a story. All right, this is the big thing.
To become a Stone Ward Knight Radiant.
Oh, another Knight Radiant. What? Another one?
Wear the first ideal to become a Stone Ward Knight Radiant.
What is going on?
No one knows, man. No one has the slightest clue as to what's happening in this game other than Jasper, and he's just excited to tell you.
What would you like to do? You are filled with investiture.
Just tell me.
As
what
And
to do.
technically, you've only used one action. You've got a whole 2 actions that you can do right now.
As the light starts exuding from her, she looks at her hand in awe and almost whispers to herself, Zoholotento. And as she does, she puts her hand on the ground, and almost like a ripple, the stone starts to move in a wave, and it shoots up 10-foot-high spears from the ground, going into the chasm and protecting the two of them in a semicircle around them from the oncoming.
Incredible. You see
Creature.
on the other side, kind of like a leg or two kind of like caught inside these spears and spikes, this chasm fiend kind of roaring, and then like, taking a second to look behind, seeing the singers approach as just filled with brilliant stormlight. The singers now, all of them, you see them kind of muttering something under their breath as they look towards you. Some of them kind of very unsure, feeling very like almost as if they've seen something that has broken some of their resolve. As they kind of too now like second guessing whether they should pursue this group and what is going on.
And do I get one more action?
You absolutely get one more action.
And with her second action, she reaches down into the prince's bag, pulls out his sash, and as she does, she turns the entire thing into stone and holds it out next to her, so she's now holding 2 blades. As she shouts to all of them, "Bring it on, suckers!"
Yeah, that's right! Bring it on!
Bring it on, you airsick lowlanders!
as this little boulder next, she's like sort of jumping in the air. I kind of imagine that essentially now what happens is like this happens, big kind of this huge moment, and then sort of Vishara and Nalin probably be like, yeah, but also like let's go, you know, like really.
Now you're talking for the other players. Now we need to flee. So let's recap. Jasper, you move the characters around, teleporting them where you want them. You take actions for the player characters, telling them what they're doing. You think for the characters. Here's what you're thinking. You feel for the characters. Here's what you're feeling. And you speak for the characters. Here's what you say. Is there any boundary at all? Do you place any restriction on yourself? No, you don't. I think you should.
Cool, but we need to still get out of here. Like, this is still bad. What we'll do is we'll start to transition out of combat as we...
Jasper decides that 2 of the player characters call for a retreat. Did they call for a retreat? He imagined that they did, and so then it is. And since he is the director of this game, he can then say, well, we're out of combat now. And what happens next, do you think?
As you find yourself now picking up this shard blade, still feeling the sort of weight of like strength and power and resilience kind of inside you, though with these 2 sort of wounds and injuries that you have suffered. And we will begin to now transition out of this war camp as I think the singers starting to sing this kind of like, almost like a rhythm of...
Kind of like, almost like, sort of like...
it starts unsure and then sort of starts to move into that deep, guttural, war-like song, as it seems that it's sort of taking a second, getting
seems
back
like
into like their rhythms and back into their pairs, their war form pairs. They kind of strengthen their resolve and they seem to want to come after you.
Can I shout out to Lara?
No, you can't, Mark.
So as we, if this is sort of transitioning out of combat, I'll sort of, as we're running, I will grab something, maybe one of the tents nearby, turn it to smoke to create cover, and then as we run through the tunnel, I'll be like, Lara, seal the tunnel behind us, seal it. Sort of as we're making our way, try and sort of help us escape, basically, but give us like cover from archers and things like that with this smoke, basically.
Absolutely.
And Lara then puts her hand on it, and the whole thing ripples out and turns into stone, blocking the entrance.
Absolutely incredible.
Incredible.
Hobbling.
The few things that they're able to do without you telling them what to do.
Along, dragging this mighty blade behind you. It takes probably the best part of a few hours, but you find yourself emerging back out and onto the shattered plains. You feel warmth on your skin as suddenly the rising sun, the storm breaking, and just knowing that despite the difficulty and strife and struggle, not only did you claim this shard blade, bringing potentially with it newfound prosperity for your people, but also these incredible warriors, these incredible people with abilities and powers that will serve the world over. We're going to do a little time jump back to Verikev. The sound of trumpets and choral singing
This goes on for a while.
awaits the return of High Prince Royan and his retinue.
Royan.
Having sent word ahead via your span reads, I
Oh
think
yeah,
the
yeah.
note
You decide.
about
You decide that they send word ahead, and they did all this, and they come in, and they're going to get a hero's welcome, and all of this. You decide all of this, Jasper. You've scripted all of it.
perhaps making the return an understated thing was a little bit lost on advisor Yaladar, who has informed everyone that the High Prince Royan has in fact retrieved a shard blade and will be coming through the camp, through the city. I think atop a resplendent, large, powerful horse, each of you, and a gnashing white spine
Thank you.
spike. You walk, ride down the cobbled streets of Verikev. Your shard blade summoned, as you've now bonded from the time that you had with it. You see in the eyes of your people something that I don't know you might have ever seen in the Royan priesthood. A genuine, palpable sense of anticipation. As glory...
Are you enjoying being the spectator in this game? Are you enjoying being a spectator? I can just imagine what Max and Phil would do if I tried this. I can just imagine. I would get a tongue lashing like you would not believe. If I tried to do this, they would roast me, and they should.
Spren float around the four of you. People see you, and not only do they feel like perhaps there is a future where the city is rebuilt and it is once again glorious, but one where the Royan princedom can be even more than it has ever been.
Quit playing with your hair, Mark.
Shard blade by your side. You see a small Alethi girl, perhaps the one that was spying in the courtroom, but 8 weeks ago, comes running up to the horse. You see that same guard goes to put a hand out and then immediately sorry, Right Lord. This little girl comes running up to you and goes, oh, is that really a shard blade?
It is.
Nope.
Wow.
It isn't.
Whoa. What's
I
it
just-
called?
Sharded my pants.
Dawnbringer.
Good name.
Dad, it's called Dawnbringer! It sort of runs back into the group, and you see sort of hoisted up on shoulders and placed on the shoulders of her dad, who kind of gives you a sort of knowing sort of nod. You see actually through some of the winding streets, the docks look in as good a shape as they've probably looked in years, with fresh timber now making up the structures that you see there, and ships, in fact.
It just goes
Docked
on and
in
on.
them.
How much longer?
You make your way up towards the palace, and you see that sat at the sort of head of this war room table is advisor Yaladar.
Oh man,
Who's
just
sort of-
more talking from you, Jasper.
Edith! Ah! Oh, sorry.
Hand on his shoulders like, it's all right. It's all right.
Is that the blade?
It is.
This is very exciting. You were right all along. Ah, what a fool I am. Of course you were going to be fine. I'm sure it was fine, and you were absolutely, there wasn't a trouble?
Kind of look to Lara. Yeah, it was fine.
Good. I'm not going to investigate that further. I'm just going to pretend that everything went off smoothly and you found the blade and there was nothing wrong that happened. Ha! Wow. May I ask, is there any plan for the singer to, do they intend to stay with us?
Well,
Just because if so, we of course will have a room prepared.
graciously,
Man.
join us, or join me, as part of the advisory of this, princedom.
Prince, I have served my entire life, but only now do I choose to serve, and I will.
You'll be most welcome.
We will be all the wiser for you, Nalin.
You see that Yaladar looks down at a hand where he's got this like big signet ring on and goes, "I'm too old for this storming stuff anyway," and sort of pulls it off and hands you the ring and goes, "Please, take good care of him and don't let him do anything so storming stupid like that again."
We'll see.
Great. Pings it to you. "Somebody get me a drink." Is there any very quick moment that any of you wanted to have?
Yeah, I go to Shara and
Something comes up here that's the first time I watched through this, I was like, wow, that's a bold move.
My prince.
please, I wish to apologize. The words that I exchanged with you on the journey was harsh and cruel.
No, they weren't harsh enough.
Something from you, from your father, something that I should have shared of the Knights ready to know of. Share them, should you wish it.
Don't necessarily.
No, far too kind. We have great advisors, great warriors to stand beside us.
A weird awakening. I wish for your hand in marriage.
Yeah, that's the part. That's what I was going for. It's like, that's a bold move. That's a bold move, man. That's a bold move. Let's go back just a little bit. Here he does. He pops the question.
A weird awakening. A realization. I wish for your hand in marriage. I believe that we can truly run and rule.
Was this scripted? I don't know. I don't think so. Because look at Jasper. He's losing his mind.
This princedom together, side by side,
Whoa.
stronger together.
I mean, really? No courtship, nothing? Just, hey, let's get hitched.
I know a lot of the other princedoms may see this as an abomination.
Yep.
A warrior queen or princess. But I see it as a way to move forward.
But I am Dark Eyes.
You feel a little
And a redhead. Bold move.
tug on your... Well, we could.
Why do you have to do this, Jasper? I'm sorry, Jasper. I'm being a little hard on you, but look at my brother in role play. Take it easy. Why do you have to be involved in every conversation?
Yeah, eventually. Okay, sorry. I don't want to ruin the moment.
Everyone will look down on you.
They will see a new dawn. For many years, we have lived in the shadow of other princedoms. This is our chance. Our moment. And for a moment, I really thought I thought it was going to be taken away from me, but I now see that I've been given a chance. Be it either.
Okay, I mean, if this was a movie, how long would this take? Please. Why is it taking so long? It just feels really long for me because I've watched this a few times. It's just a lot. I don't know how I was trying to read her body language. Be like, what does she think about this? Who knows? I think she says yes.
I don't want to miss it. I don't want to throw it away.
Don't do it.
Then I accept.
No!
Skip.
Stop.
See as Joy's friends start flooding into the room.
Did anyone understand what was happening? Oh. I don't know. I'm not convinced. I think you have to watch. You have to read the books, guys. You got to read the books. I don't see any way around it. You've got to read all of the Stormlight archive to understand what's going on here. I have read it, so I did understand the Spren stuff and the Chasm Fiend, and there was a bridge crew. All right. So I did get some of it, but even I was like, I don't know, it's been a while. Jasper, my friend, you were this whole game. You, and there was quite a bit of dialogue from Mark, and a little bit of a scene at the end with the High Prince saying, hey, let's tie the knot. And I got this fancy sword, which is going to save the kingdom. My shard blade. And that's going to be a wrap for the Cosmere RPG. I don't know. Maybe we'll give it a shot. I'll talk to the guys, see if they want to try this out with the raise the stakes rolls. I'm not sure they're going to love the whole, meta currency thing. If I roll a 5, 6, I get an opportunity. Complications. A lot of these games are doing that kind of complication plot die thing. Not sure if I could convince the guys to to play Cosmere RPG. But you know what? We've done Daggerheart, and I played Draw Steel, so anything is possible. You've made it to the end of this film. I'm sorry. It just felt like they were trying to have it be a movie, but it was a terrible movie. Oh, you've made it to the end of this video. My name is Crispy. I have watched this game probably more than anyone else on the YouTubes, and I will never watch it again. But I thank you for watching this. I'll catch you on the next one.